what it is, sports fans. Welcome to yet another edition of Game On. I'm Sizwe Mabena, who's joined by legends today in Sikhosana, as well as McGregor, in a special December where the football goes right through the month. So, Jerry, you put I need to say.
No, I mean, it was just an outing with my family. It was nice, to be with the kids away from your area in terms of Gauteng. But it was just enjoyable Christmas Day with the family.
I like that you mentioned family. It's an important time for family right now. One sub, however, has been paid in 3 months, Moroka Swallows, and it's December time. Can you imagine the stress? And can you put yourself in the shoes of the players right now?
Yeah, Paige, Bunzima is a player. Uma usebenzile and then awuthola umkhomelo wakho. I mean, you always plan financially, okay, by the time I earn this salary, this is what I'm gonna do. So, but lo nje sikuzwayo nje ithwalo sokuthi akusinto okuqala ebekuyenzeka, because some of these salaries ebefika late in the middle of the month, they're not like stable in terms of the day of the payment. And now for them to boycott the game when they were ready to go and play, it shows a commitment. We are ready to go and save the team, but give what is due to us. You can't always falter the players, but I feel pity with the team because they might have their own problems that we don't know. What is it that keeps them away from paying the players? So we cannot only look at AMA players only. We also have to know what is the reason behind AMA players angakhokhelwa in Moroka Swallows.
Now, players have a loyalty to the badge, they have a loyalty, and they have to provide the service to the fans as well. There's talk with the players, but a team with regards to this payment issue. Do you see a resolution anytime soon?
No.
And what does that mean when you don't trust the team anymore?
Yeah, as a player, you start looking outside, to be honest.
January is now.
January is coming. I mean, the transfer window is coming, and this problem are persistent to the club. So, now you always want to put the effort with the team with all the problems that are there. I mean, you look at the quality of the players that Swallows has. I mean, it would be also an ideal situation for other clubs to start poaching these Swallows players to say, look, we've got enough finance, we can pay you all of that, and then it's going to be easy for these players to leave Swallows. But we don't want to see that happening because Swallows is a big club and we really, really need to see Swallows campaigning in the DStv PSL.
Now, Jerry, let's just be desperate for points. Played SuperSport 3 times in the DStv Premiership in the past. They've never beaten SuperSport.
Yeah, it's going to still be difficult for them to pitch to a SuperSport, even though they are playing at home. Now they've got a new coach in Vusimusi Vilarazi after the sacking of Kaitano Tembo. I think for Gavin Hunt, he would want to continue where he left off against the Orlando Pirates when they walloped the Pirates 3-1. So for Richards Bay Football Club, it's still going to be difficult, for them to get at least a point from SuperSport United. But I sometimes look at the way Sugno coach oyedwa ebazobatila naye, not the co-coaches. So mhlawumbe the mindset ama players ingashintsha sibone umehluko ku Richards Bay Football Club. Let's hope that will happen because we really need teams as I said, Durban Durban is always a concern for everything to go.
Now, a team that will go into the game with hope. People want to sit here against Sundowns, hoping it's a good time to play Sundowns. They're busy with the Champions League. They've played around about 60 games this season, and their perfect record has just come to an end most recently. Is it a good time for Polokwane City now?
No, I still feel like it's not a good time. I feel like Sundowns had a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Because, there was a game that was not played midweek, against the Moroka Swallows. So I think they will come with a freshly minded team that will play Polokwane City. And as foresee danger there, where I think Sundowns will continue their winning streak after the disappointment of drawing against Cape Town City. They will definitely want to play better, do better against Polokwane City. So I see Sundowns making it to the 3 points for them.
Now, Sundowns hasn't lost a game since September last year. At some point, that loss has to come. And till the time for giving, it's Christmas.
Sundowns, it's not a Christmas team where they give points away. I don't think so. I mean, they are intact. I mean, they are a team that really mean business. And they want to continue with this winning streak, even though they just lost the 2 points. But I think for them, they will want to continue to make sure that they gather all the 3 points against Polokwane City.
Absolutely. Siema, not Johnson, both of them 7 games in charge of the teams. It's interesting. Chiefs are only up and up lately. Is Kevin Johnson the man to steady things at Chiefs? Yes, Anis?
Yeah, no, dear Shangan, I wanna be honest, because I'm more impressed with Kevin Johnson. The problem with Chiefs, all the interim coaches, they normally do well until they get the job to be head coaches permanently, and then things turn around. But in Kevin Johnson, I look at the game when Nkosinati scored that goal for Chiefs, and the way they celebrate, the way they group together, you can tell there is a change from the players. There is happiness again, and that's what makes Chiefs to be better now. I mean, 6 games for Kevin Johnson, 4 wins, 2 loss, and this is the 7th one. And also, you look at the last line of defense. I mean, they had problems with goalkeeping, but there's Bavuma, 3 clean slates. It's good for the boy as well.
It certainly is. Now, let's keep in mind there will be the derby out in Cape Town as well. I'll take a prediction first. Cape Town City against struggling Cape Town Spurs. Spurs at home.
Hey, City to win.
City
to win. City will beat the Spurs.
Well, let's hope they keep the good times rolling then. Yeah, Cape Town City as well. We end off the PSL segment in this week's Game On. Time to take a short break. When we come back, Shane McGregor joins us and we discuss all things EPL.
Check these guys. Let's show them how it's really done. I see it. Let's have a
your feet like this.
Let's see how you play.
Move your feet like this.
Welcome back to Game On as we move on now and look at things abroad, of course, joined by Shane McGregor. Shane, how are you feeling about your predictions last week? How do things look?
Yeah, it's been difficult this time of the year. We all know how many games I've played. No sleep, watching the games late at night. But yeah, it's been difficult to get the predictions right. We
are struggling. Bottom of the table.
Yeah, Sheffield are struggling. They haven't been playing badly. I mean, I've watched a couple of the games now. They haven't really played that badly. They've been a little bit unlucky. Things haven't gone their way. But they're coming up against a City team that are focused. They've come back from winning the World Cup, the Team World Cup. And they're looking good, even without Haaland. He's coming back shortly. You've got De Bruyne out. So it just shows you the squad that they do have. But they just keep on doing it. I mean, they got the players. They just keep on winning. It's one of those things.
The form, however, was a bit of a talking point before the FIFA Club World Cup. They have that big game to look forward to. For me, I've found Forest games to be quite exciting. Whether they win or lose a game, they put it all out there. Up against Manchester United, you never know which United side you're going to get, but it promises to be an entertaining one, this one.
Well, Forest have turned it around now. Nunes come in there and changed things around for them. He's a very good coach, and you can see that he's a very good coach. He's got them playing well. He's got them going. I do feel that they get something out of this game. So I do think that Forest can beat United.
Yeah.
Is it a flash in the pan for United? We don't know. I do feel Forest will get something out of this just because of Nuno. He's got those players buzzing. He's got them thinking differently. They're going to have their tails up. So I think they'll get a bit of a result there.
United fans will be quick to point out last 5 meetings against Forest in all competitions, 5 straight wins.
Yeah, but you know what? The difference is it was then. I'm talking about now. You've got to be looking at it. Have United turned it around? Yeah, they got money involved in now. They've been 25% bought out again. So, obviously there's going to be pressure on the manager. I feel if he didn't win against Villa, he would have been sacked. It's as simple as that.
To the 25%?
Yeah, well, he's just bought further shares in it, so he's got the majority now, which is a good thing. I think United needed that to happen for them to go forward.
All right, now let's talk derby. Fulham, Arsenal, exciting Arsenal. Liverpool play against Newcastle. Wow.
Well, Fulham aren't going anywhere at the moment. They're struggling along. Arsenal should get the result there. They shouldn't be battling up against Fulham. Liverpool coming up against a Newcastle team that are on a very low ebb. After they went out of Europe, things have just gone backwards for them. They've got a lot of injuries. They've had a lot of players out injured. No excuses. You've got a big squad. They've got the money. Another manager that's under big pressure there. I can't see them getting anything from Liverpool. I really can't. And not because I support Liverpool.
Yeah.
I just like the way Liverpool are going about their business this time. He's got clever. He's rested players in their last game. He'll play all those players. I just feel Newcastle need to get a lift, and I don't think it's going to start now. That manager under big, big pressure.
Do you think reality is setting for Newcastle where you have ambitions? Qualify for Europe, but then with Europe comes the possibility of being locked out in December and how that affects morale going back into a difficult December period in England.
Their aspirations were not to be in Europe for a while. They actually wanted to do it and do it slowly.
Yes.
And they've gone past the aspirations. So they qualify for Europe. Now the pressure's on to be there all the time. So this is where the big pressure's going to come in. Can that manager get them there and keep on going? If he doesn't turn it around, he's going to be looking for a job. It's as simple as that. They are ambitious, Newcastle. They got the money. So he's got to watch out what he does now.
And Arsenal, how important is it for them now to build some sort of run going into the new season to be thereabouts in the race?
They have to. They have to win games. It's as simple as they've got to keep the pressure on Man City, got to keep the pressure on Liverpool. They've got to keep on winning. Got to keep that pressure going. They can't go through a bad spell like I did last year. I don't think they will start now. They'll get the result here and then see next year, which is just around the corner. I'm sure they'll keep going.
I tell you what, Liverpool's frightening at home. Haven't lost in the last 22 matches at home in all competitions. Fortress,
exactly. I was listening to the guys talking about this. It's one of the hardest stadiums to go play at, and the players feel it. When they sing that anthem before the game, it gives me goosebumps every time. So it's very difficult to go play there, and that's why it is a fortress.
Well, there's something iconic about that venue. One former commentator, Tulumanyapi, once went there and went on a tour of the stadium, and we've seen players coming out and hitting that little sign that says this is Anfield just before they enter the field. They told me about that, and what is it about that stadium that puts opposition players in fear?
Pride, passion, all of that comes in when you go there. You see that crowd. Once you walk out there and you see that crowd, it puts fear into any player. And as I said, you'll never walk alone. Exactly.
Well, Kane, firstly, I'd like to thank you for your thoughts. Look forward to seeing you next week. But firstly, have a great festive period still in the time that remains this month.
Yeah, have a good New Year. Cheers as well.
We'll do. Welcome back to Game On as we move on and talk about something of high importance in the way of development in football in Africa. That's the African Cup of Nations happening in Cote d'Ivoire come January. Christopher Bongo, my brother, joins me, my older brother actually I should say, joins me to talk all things beautiful. Chris, you and I have traveled, we've been lucky enough to go to the AFCON. We know the spirit of the AFCON. For those that don't know, let's talk about the spirit of the AFCON.
One thing that we knew, every second year, January, you are traveling somewhere on the continent to go enjoy football. The great thing about AFCON is not only the football, it is everything around the football.
Cultural experience,
the cultural experience, the food, the colors, the music. And you found fans, they know their team will go nowhere. But they are there because they want to be part of African Cup of Nations. And if you look at the opening ceremonies, what we saw lately here in Cameroon, it was amazing. Cote d'Ivoire already come with the new song that is out. And I can't wait January to happen for me to go to AFCON. That was our idea. But you and I were those experiences.
Oh,
we
our
went
first
to
AFCON
Egypt.
together was 2006.
Yes,
Egypt. I remember, for me, I was a very young man, early 20s then. And it wasn't just about the football, like
No,
you say.
no.
It was Didier Drogba, there were stars there.
And they
Albert
go to the
Flicker,
go to the
but
market.
now you're learning about
Yeah.
Egypt, you're learning about the pyramids, but you're also learning about other countries, because you remember Cote d'Ivoire then, where there was unrest.
And
And they did so well by getting to the final, it all stopped, the war stopped, the fighting
and the
stopped.
big story in the final, actually, Cote d'Ivoire, they played against Egypt.
Penalties.
And they refused to sing the anthem because they called them Ivory Coast. And they
Cote
say,
d'Ivoire.
no, we're not Ivory Coast, we are Cote d'Ivoire. So until they changed the announcement and then they say, we're in the stadium in that final.
I don't think I've said Ivory Coast since.
No, you
Yeah.
cannot say it. And the beauty about it, we had to get in the stadium something like 5 hours before because President Mubarak needed to
Yes.
come in. So all those experiences.
And afterwards, we had to wait till he's at home before we can
before you
leave
leave the
Yes,
stadium.
yes.
So those are the experiences of African Cup of Nations. It is everything but football.
Colors, character, the fans. Let's talk Ghana.
And the
The
people
experience in Ghana.
people are talking about the heat in South Africa at the moment. We are going to Cote d'Ivoire. We
Rainy
reach
season?
40 degrees in the shade.
Oh.
And the humidity is better than Durban or hotter than Durban because it is actually 88 degrees. I mean, 88% of humidity. So when you see players stopping to drink water, you must understand that most African players, they don't even do that.
We've used the AFCON to learn about the continent. I've used football to learn about the continent. How important is it for those that are watching at home now, thinking, look, I need to see more than we have African countries, and use the AFCON to visit maybe the 4 cities of the AFCON to see a country? Maybe you like drive to Ghana.
Jeez, if you talk about driving Ghana,
Other
you
guys
wake up
too.
in the morning, they're
Yeah.
going, tamale, Accra. We had all those experiences eating the grass cutters, the food as well. You ate what you did not eat before, so you experienced all those stuff. That's why we use the term discover the continent through its football. There is no better way for you to discover the continent through its football because it is a common language. Through football, you have music. Through football, you learn countries' colors and countries' flags. Many people, they discover actually African countries, they have almost the same flags. I mean, 3 countries,
True.
you don't know
Red, yellow, green. That is-
which one is Senegal, which one is Cote d'Ivoire. So all those stuff makes the ambience of African football. By the way, the first event
Yeah.
to take place in the world after COVID was actually football in Africa. That was Chan. And
I love
it did
that.
happen in Cameroon.
Another important thing we haven't touched on, of course, in as far as football on the continent, in the AFCON, it's how inviting African countries are, African people are, and the people make the tournament what it is. And of course, in talking about Hollywood bets, in ending this year's show and this week's show, we have to talk about Hollywood bets, what they've done in giving back out in the Eastern Cape, and they were out there visiting Flying Eagles. Chris, let's check it out.
Today we are here in Mdantsane Township in the Eastern Cape to do a soccer handover. We will be donating soccer kits, playing and training equipment for Flying Eagles Football Club. We chose this club because it's one of a very few clubs in the Mdantsane area that has got 5 divisions in their team, and one of their divisions is a female team. We felt that was very important for us.
If you look at all these kids, not a single one, I think about 1% or 2% that has got soccer boots. When they come to the gym, the practices, you will see them, they are wearing their own clothes, which means they are coming from the families that have nothing. When you come here, you give them this kit, you are giving them hope.
For Eagles, we think that this would attract more members for the club and it would get more kids off the streets. I would like to thank Hollywood Foundation for the sponsorship.
Ndiziva njabule kakhulu ngoba into enisenzele yona inkulu kakhulu tata. Yasimotivate ukuba siqhubeke ehlala ibhola. Singahlali esitratweni simoshakale zizinto zolapho zolomhlaba. Sawuthi inkosi uHollywood Foundation ngalena senzele yona ukuthi asiphathele ikitsi ne-equipment yebhola.
Thank you very much for joining us for the very last game on of the year 2023. Keep in mind, we want you to have a happy new year. And for those of you that will be driving, drive safely and let's ensure we enjoy the football come 2024. Click, click, bang.